Hello dear students, it is still teacher Richard, Senior 6 Biology. We are on the concept of the ecosystem as the unit 2 under the new curriculum of Rwanda Education Board in secondary school. So we are now going to look at the ecological pyramid. Okay, last time we saw the food chains, food webs, concept of the ecosystem, we saw definitions. If you missed, just go back on Ikaramu TV and subscribe and search for the last videos. Okay, so now we are going to look at what the pyramid is. We are going to look at the pyramids. What is pyramid? Pyramid, it's a representation that shows how things proceed with each other. For example, it's in the form of a triangle, okay, like this. This is a pyramid. It shows how things follow each other, okay? But now we are moving to the ecological pyramid. We have also the word ecological pyramid. To match this with the previous lesson, ecological pyramids shows the relationship between living organisms. It's a feeding relationship between living organisms under this kind of representation. So that's why, as a real definition, we say it's a graphic representation that shows the bioproductivity of each feeding relationship. An ecological pyramid is a representation that shows the feeding relationship of organisms in the ecosystem. Or it shows the bioproductivity of feeding levels. So now ecological pyramid that we are going to look will have different categories. The first category is what we call a pyramid. Let's say categories of pyramids or types of pyramids. Ecological, we have pyramid of numbers. Pyramid of numbers. We have also the pyramid of biomass. And sometimes the pyramid of energy. All these pyramids, whether it's of numbers, biomass, energy, shows the relationship between living things and their feeding relationship. So, like we constructed the food chain and the food webs, we will follow the trend of the producers, first consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and the quaternary consumers. we will follow that trend while constructing our pyramids. So we are now going to start with the pyramid of numbers, and we will proceed with the next two pyramids. Okay? Dear students, you cannot understand this way if you did not fully follow the first two sessions under the concept of ecosystem. So search under our YouTube channel, Kalam TV, and search for the feeding relationship under the food chains and food webs. If you didn't start that way, you cannot fully understand this. Let's start with the pyramid of numbers. The pyramid of numbers is a representation. It's a representation of number of organisms present at each trophic level. This pyramid of numbers can be inverted or upright. Always remember this, okay? The producers are always on the bottom. Whether it's inverted, whether it's upright, the producers are always on the bottom. The first consumer follows, and we go to the top with the least or the last consumer, which can be quaternary. So I will have an example here, a small example. Can have an upright pyramid of numbers. It's constructed like this. So because it's of numbers, we will present with the numbers. We can have here like grass, which can be of, for example, this number. We can have this grass being eaten by the rabbits. The rabbits will be of a smaller number, which can be like 75,000. These rabbits can be eaten by, for example, carrots, which will be of a lesser number as well, like 100 carrots. And this can be eaten by, for example, owls, which will be, of course, of a lesser number, like, let's say 10, okay? This shows that as we move up to the pyramid, the numbers decrease, okay? And the producer as graphs is always on the bottom. To this, we can have also a pyramid of numbers, which is invented, okay? Which is like this. These are all examples. When it's invented like this, it shows that the numbers of the producers are lesser than the consumers, and as we move on the top, the numbers increase. These type of pyramids are likely found in the aquatic ecosystems. Let's say, like here we have phytoplankton. The phytoplanktons. Here we can have the small fishes. Okay. We can have here as well the frogs, and here we can have the big fishes. the big fishes. This shows that this phytoplankton is a producer. Small fishes are the first consumer, frogs as the secondary consumer, big fishes as the tertiary consumer. And as we move up, the numbers decrease. This is all about the pyramid of numbers. We are now moving to the second pyramid, which is the pyramid of biomass. Yes, dear students, and to the second pyramid, we have the pyramid of biomass, which is, it shows the biomass per unit area, the biomass per unit area of each trophic level in the ecosystem. The biomass per unit area. This is why we will have their units, which would be of kilogram, which can be of kilogram or gram per unit area. When we say area, we can have like kilometer square, can have grams per meter square. So these are the units of the biomass. So, dear students, let's have a very small example. We can have this type of biomass. Can have here like a grass, a certain grass. We can have rabbits, and we can have cats. This grass will not state the number, but we will state their biomass, which can be like 75,000 kilogram per meter square. Because we said it's a biomass per unit area. We can have here like 7,500 kilogram per meter square. Can have here like 100 kilogram per kilometer square. So this shows that as you move up, the biomass decrease. This is an upright pyramid of biomass. We can also have an inverted when the producers are very small, they have a smaller biomass. Okay? Dear students, we are moving to the third, which is the last pyramid. I hope you understood this well. We are now moving to the pyramid of energy. This pyramid of energy, there is only one exception. The exception is that comparing to the first two pyramids, the pyramid of energy is always upright, which means we never have a pyramid of energy which is invented, okay? It is always in this form. It shows This pyramid of energy shows amount of energy which are at each tropic level. Amount of energy present at each trophic level. At each trophic level, we have a certain amount of energy. So, we are now going to present how it looks like. For example, to the example that we have been using, if you have grass here, rabbits here, cats here, this shows that grass has a higher energy as always than rabbits, than cats, okay? This energy is counted in kilocalories, okay? Or kilojoules. So, grass will have a lot of energy because it gets its energy from the sunlight, okay? It converts the sunlight into the organic matter that's used for feeding. So it will always have a great amount of energy. This energy which comes from the sunlight, okay? It will have energy that comes from the sunlight, and this energy will be huge. Let's say it has 500,000 kilojoules. Here, let's say it can remain with only 50,000 kilojoules, and here we can remain with, let's say 50 kilojoules. As we move up the pyramid, the energy decrease, okay? Next time we'll talk about how this energy is lost. Why do rabbits have higher energy than cats? Why do grass has higher energy than rabbits? We'll talk about this next time.